years old. I am 31 years old. This will be the first time in my life that I can say I've done this on my own. I haven't had somebody. That's like, sometimes that codependency and that enabling, it looks great on the outside, but on the inside, the person that's living it, damn, it's miserable.
So that was Casey Jordan. He's today's guest on the Ashes Awesome podcast. If you've been following Casey at all, you know that he's just such a likable guy. Right? He's just one of those people you can't help but love him, and following him along has been met with all sorts of emotion, from the wonderment and the worry to just excitement that he's doing okay. He's ready to start the next phase in his journey, or the next chapter in his story, if you will. And we just wanted to get back on and let people know, because a lot of people are following him again these days, and hoping for the best and praying for him. So listen, if you like what we're doing here on the show, guys, don't forget to like, comment, or share on the video. Subscribe, do whatever it is that you're doing, whatever platform that you're on. Those things really, really help us and help us to keep spreading the message. And I can't think of and I really do appreciate every one of those things. Today's title sponsor is the Yatra Trauma Center here in Krabi, Thailand, where I reside. Guys, they treat trauma. They do it very, very, very well. They offer a residential treatment program as well as some online therapy options as well. I don't think I will ever stop screaming from the rooftops at the difference they made in my life. I mean, every single word that I say, and I'm very, very glad to be partnered up with them on the show. If you go to our website, a2apodcast.com/trauma, there you will find some information about Mike Miller, the head clinician, who's also guested on the show here multiple times now. I want to say 5 or 6 times, as long as there's a whole bunch of episodes that he's done with us. And of course, the contact information to get in touch with the Yatra Trauma Center, where, maybe you can address some of the things that need addressing. So check them out, guys. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. Watchers, listeners, supporters of all kinds. Welcome to another episode of the Ashes to Awesome podcast. I'm your host, Chuck LaFlange, checking in from Krabi, Thailand, of course. Halfway around the world, somewhere in Minnesota these days. It's Casey Jordan. How you doing today, Casey?
What's up, Chuck?
Oh, just living the dream, right? So she's middle of the night here, starting to cool off. I guess it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 27, so that'd be somewhere about 80 degrees now. So things are starting to get a little cooler. We're getting close to the rainy season here in Thailand. So there is that, right? Now we've got 3 months of steady rain ahead of us. So
Better than learning that the state bird of Minnesota is the mosquito, because I have been bit by a mosquito about uncountable times. 2 days. I've been here for 6 weeks, and I was like, this place is heaven on earth. There's no bugs. And then last night I woke up and I had mosquito bites across all my toes. The tops of my toes were covered in mosquito bites.
Oh, that'll drive you crazy, eh? Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm covered. My whole body is a mosquito bite right now. We worked in the swamp today. My boss decided we we're going to work in the swamp today. All the mosquitoes just hatched in the last 2 days, and we were going to go stand in the swamp.
Anyway, so what's going on, my friends? The last time we checked up on you, you had some plans in the works. You weren't really sure what was happening. You're living the Minnesotan dream, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, we talk often, but the people that are paying attention don't really talk to you as much as my fortunate self gets to. So what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I'm really bad about answering my phone. So like the only people that I talk to are you and a couple, like 2 other people get to hear from me. That's it. Me, I got wheels on my ass all the time. So I was getting antsy and I was like, I'll just drive to Washington and I will shorten the flight, and that will make it simpler because then I won't have to transition from 2 airports to 1. And then I was like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes a whole lot of trouble for me if I drive and leave my car in Washington State and then fly to Alaska, when I could just leave my car in the nice place of Minnesota where it's already at and fly from Minneapolis to Washington and then Washington to Alaska. So the plans have but there was a meeting of the minds. I didn't have a mind, so you told me that I needed to do something a little different. So I was like, and then I watched the episode of me and Ryan Bathgate and you, and I was like, yeah, maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe I should listen. I should shut up and listen for once. I mean,
I love you, brother, but you do tend to get a little flighty.
Dude, it's sideways. I ain't got no brakes. The tires are spinning all the time, and they put me in the sand, and I'm big trouble. I'm honestly I'm so happy that that all spun back around. I was sad. I was like depressed. I was worried that like I was gonna look really stupid because none of this was gonna work. And then you just keep showing up for me, dude. Honestly, you just keep.
Well, you
It's
know,
not. It's not a monetary. It's not a financial show up. It's not like.
fuck no. I barely
Yeah,
show up for myself that way, right?
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I got $6. I got $6 right now. Well, I'm so happy. Like the mosquito bites on my toes right now. I'm having a blast, and I'm headed to Alaska. And
So what are we going to Alaska for? What's that all about? Let's talk about that.
met some people in Minnesota that need some help. They have in Alaska. They take precious minerals from. So they needed an extra guy on the crew. I don't currently have a real job. I'm working on the farm, $20 an hour cash, whatever. Everybody's like, that's good money. You don't know what life's like anymore. That's not great money. Schedule is all tentative to when a 68-year-old woman wants to work me. So
Yeah.
the pot of gold is not that big at the end of this rainbow, but the piece is awesome. Gives me an opportunity to financially take care of myself, take care of my kids, take care of anything. If I have anything I need taken care of, I'll be able to do it on my own. And that's the first time I'll be 31 years old. I am 31 years old. This will be the first time in my life that I can say I've done this on my own. I haven't had somebody that's like sometimes that codependency and that enabling, it looks great on the outside, but on the inside, the person that's living it, damn, it's miserable.
Yeah,
Like,
right. You know,
like
I understand that. I'm still working towards self-sufficiency, right? So,
yeah, if
right,
you've been
yeah.
stuck in the pits of codependency, you honestly don't know what it's like to be self-sufficient. Even
It's
when
been a
you were
long
at,
time. Yeah,
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 even at my most self-sufficient in the last 30 years, if $1,000 hiccup happens in my life, I'm so screwed.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like every man, and it's like I don't have to live like that. I don't have to be under somebody's thumb. I can take care of myself. But this gives me Alaska gives me the opportunity to, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
genuinely
right.
like me when I'm being me and I'm not doing what I'm told to do. Like
Yeah, yeah, right,
it's
right.
kind of like the whole F around and recover mission. Like that got strong spun and misconstrued, and like I told people that I was going on that trip. And then when the vehicle didn't work out for the trip, the story got changed to that I ran away, but I was already going on the trip. So I just had the car. I just went ahead and did it in the car.
Yeah,
Missions never stopped. That's a mission that I'm never going to give up. Honestly, it's like mission trip started. This is a mission trip. I'll do the same things in Alaska that I've done this whole time. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
stopped, dude. I haven't stopped giving the love. I haven't stopped where they're at. Like that's never
good.
time changed. The mission is not
Yeah,
changed.
cool,
My attitudes,
cool.
my actions might not reflect that all the time, but you go see me in the streets with somebody that needs some help, and then you tell me I'm a bad guy. Bad
Yeah,
guy, bad guy. No, man, not me. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I love, can always turn my day around. I got into an argument with I'll keep this short, but me and my boss were kind of going at it today. She was trying to watch me do something and tell me how to do it, and I was like, go. I was like, because this is not going to last very long. I'll pack up and leave if you're going to sit here and scream at me over how I use a shovel. Like, just go. 5 minutes later, I drove the tractor for the first time. I'm the happiest person in the world, and I didn't let that. I didn't let that stuff ruin my day, dude. And I was all the way through the woods. I had to leave it in fourth or third gear, but that's because she didn't want me to pop willies and stuff. But I didn't get to pop any wheelies on the tractor, but when I did go to park it, I almost wrecked it because she didn't tell me the tractor didn't have brakes. So I put it in road gear and drove it for about a quarter mile. And then as I went down the hill, I hit both brakes, and only the right side worked. So the tractor went real quick that way. But I had an idea of how to stop it, so I didn't wreck it. But what a little bit of excitement can do for the day. I mean,
yeah. No kidding, right? Yeah,
we all
yeah,
need that.
absolutely, right.
Yeah.
How we doing with sobriety, with recovery? How's that looking for you these days?
I am grateful that I eked my way back onto the internet because there's not really a big recovery community here. There's not really there's not a lot of people. So
Yeah.
there's either people that are in treatment or in transitional, and I'm not, I'm not gonna be here long, so I haven't went anywhere transitional. I have done a little bit of person to person stuff. Just met some people going through it in the community. There's a ton of death here.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of overdoses. And there's a lot of change in the narrative, dude. There's a lot of like not wanting to admit that it was an overdose. Like we're still stuck. This place is still kind of stuck in that shame of my brother died from an overdose. I don't want people to know that that's what it was. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that
Oh,
part
and I don't know
sucks.
that ever goes away, because some of the most, yeah, that's a family thing. So if you're in the culture, it's easy for people to come to terms with that. They're easy to
Yeah.
admit that. But their families who are not inside that culture, I think it's much harder for them to come to terms with that. And it doesn't, that I don't think that goes away with time. I think that's just going to be like that for forever, right? So yeah,
It's more painful. Like I hurt for the family because I'm like, that's gotta hurt to hide that because like that's you have people like me that would hug all of you. You know what I mean? Like lose somebody because like nobody deserves to die from it ever.
No,
Never.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
It keeps me on this side. If we're talking recovery, death and pain and the the illusion of what good is when you're using, like none of that's worth it. None of that's it's all faux pas. Like even the good days are not good.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Right. When people ask me here how I'm doing, I won't talk about me for a quick second here, but
yeah. No, where's that, bud?
It's that often. How I usually respond is it's a grind. It's a real grind, right? Like there's days where the stress is overwhelming and all that stuff, but the worst day today is better than the best day 20 months ago, right? And that's just the way that it is. It's always like that, because when I think like the very worst thing that I go through here is still so much better than being a slave to my trauma, my disease, my like all the things that come along with being an active addiction, right? So, right, yeah. But so that's a matter of perspective. Faux show. All right, Casey. So we know that you've got some plans in place now to get on up to Alaska, and that makes me really happy for you, because she's been a little eclectic sometime in your decision making in that, and I get to talk to you daily, but the reality of that is that I think you need some help getting there. And if people want to donate, I know there's your new Cash App. I mean, we can talk about that. But if people want to donate, what are they donating for exactly? And if we can give some clarity, maybe we can help invoke some generosity from the people that love and care about you the way I do. So, right. What do you need?
Yeah, 3 really important things that I'm going to have to pay for in the next couple weeks. The next 7 days, more importantly, is the plane ticket. It's going to cost me about $5 from Minneapolis to Washington, then Alaska. I don't currently have the money for that. After that is my cell phone / account. Paying for that back to my other internet things, which is good for everybody because that's how I make money. So that's it, $500 honestly at this point, because I have to pay more. But then after is just gear for what I'm doing, the trip. I'm going to Alaska. I've given away everything that I had prior. I have a couple pairs of jeans and a few shirts and a pair of boots right now that probably aren't going to cut it in Alaska. So I'm just, if anybody's willing to help me get the things together, get money together to get the things that I need, I appreciate all the support.
That'd be awesome, right? And if anybody, like, let's say, what is your Cash App right now? If you want to,
the number 2 and case, so it's CJ2 case.
CJ2 case, okay. So, and of course that'll be on the website at 808podcast.com/Casey, along with a little bit more about what's going on in the story and that here. So, we've talked quite a bit, Casey. Again, I'm happy that you found some direction, because Alaska, in my mind, and from what I can tell, being on the other side of the freaking world from you, Alaska, if you can get there and you can get this happening, it puts you in a position. It's a jumping off for the rest of everything that you want to do, right? So, in self-sufficiency, I know I am closer today to self-sufficiency than I was a month ago, and hopefully a month from now I am myself as well. But I can appreciate how humbling it can be to not be. how shitty of a feeling it can be to not be, but how great of a feeling it is to know that you're moving in that direction. So I'm glad that you've adjusted your plan to a more realistic one. I'm really glad you're not driving across the goddamn country
again. Yeah, for the fourth time, he's not driving across the country. Thank God.
Yes. Right. All right, my man. All right. Well, let's leave it at that. This is going to be a short episode, I think. There's not a lot going on. I'm really glad. I'll say this: I am fucking proud of you that you're still sober. That you've just had your 2-year. What, 7 days ago now? Right? Was a week ago. Okay. Well, in my world, it's 7 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. You're a day ahead. You had it.
Yeah. So 6 days ago, that you celebrated your 2 years, which is just incredible. And I'm glad that you managed to maintain that, because there's been all sorts of reasons or excuses for you not to have done that. So keep up the good work on that, my friend. Keep up the good work.
Doing that's what changed it for me, was when I started doing it for me. Like, keeps me on this side.
Of course it does, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, text me my favorite part of the show. It's daily gratitudes. What you got for us, brother?
And I didn't get to talk to my mom stuff, but I'm grateful for my mom, man.
Yeah.
You lived this long. I wouldn't have made it this far. I know that my kids are taken care of because of my mom. Because there's been a lot of anger on my end. But I gotta give grace. So just say that, man. Everything's all the time. I got a lot of love, and I got a lot of love to give. I don't know. But grateful for my mom, because I know my kids are safe, man. And that's important. I get to do what I'm doing right now because my mom's got my kids. So, I mean, she doesn't have my kids watching my kids, but my kids are safe because of my mom. My kids don't have to worry about anything at all, dude. I worry about nothing because of her. And I'm grateful for that. That puts me in a good position to work on me.
That's I love that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, brother. Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you're good. I'm grateful that you seem to be on the upswing. I'm grateful for your friendship, brother. I really am. You make me smile almost every day. Usually I'm laughing at you, not with you, but I'm laughing. So that's what matters, right? I'm also grateful to every single person who continues to like, watch, comment, share, do the thing, subscribe. Every time you do one of these things is getting us a little bit closer to living my best life. My best life is to make a humble living, spreading the message. And the message is this: if you're in active addiction right now, today could be the day. Today could be the day that you start a lifelong journey. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, call it a detox, go to a meeting, pray, go to church. I don't care. Do whatever it is you got to do to get that journey started. It's so much better than the alternative. If you have a loved one who's suffering an addiction right now, who's taking the time to listen to our conversation, if you should take 1 more minute out of your day and text that person, let them know they're loved. Use the words. That little glimmer of hope just might be the thing that brings them back. Boom. Okay. Much better.